Yesterday, the Supreme Court agreed to hear you-know-who's case for total presidential immunity from prosecution. It has halted proceedings in the election interference case against him, and it's getting mixed reviews out of D.C. What a shocker. Take a look.
We've never in our history had a president or former president indicted, and in the past year, Donald Trump has been indicted 4 different times. This is an abuse of power and a persecution of President Trump, and I very much hope that the Supreme Court puts a stop to it.
It is likely some of the justices simply want to assist Donald Trump in delaying the resolution of this case in the hope of pushing his trial off past the election. If that were to happen, then of course Donald Trump would try to, if successful in the election, make the whole case go away. And I say that as a very likely motivation for some of these justices, because there's no reason to take this case.
Well, the Supreme Court won't hear oral arguments until the end of April. Now, let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything. Yeah. You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, he could. I mean, no. This is not a good thing. Because he'd have totally, he could go. What this means is he could do anything.
Yeah.
He could dismiss everybody's debt.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of great stuff that could happen, but let's really look at what this means.
Yeah.
So they're basically kicking the can down the road, though. They're not taking up this case immediately.
Right.
So what's their motivation then? If we all know that they can't do what you just said because of the extreme power that a president would have, what is their motivation for not doing it right away?
Well, unfortunately, some people are saying the motivation is that there are certain conservative justices that have been appointed by Trump that want to help him. And because we know the end result is if this case is not resolved by the time of the election and he, God forbid, becomes the president of the United States, the Justice Department policy is that you cannot indict nor put on trial a sitting president, right? And so it's his get out of jail.
He could throw him in jail.
But it's his get out of jail free card.
No, I'm saying Biden could throw.
Yeah,
See,
Biden
this is a slippery slope because if they give him this immunity,
what's good for the goose
what I also will say is they're listening to these arguments in April. The end of their term is in June, right? They return again, I believe, in October. The Bush v. Gore case happened real quick. Do you remember that? The Supreme Court knows how to work.
Looking at President Donald Trump about the immunity, the Supreme Court yesterday finally passed out the immunity for the president. Actually, they're waiting for April that look at it. By the way, the women in the view come out with their own opinion about the immunity for the president. You could see some Republicans who came and spoke about it. You have one of them spoke about that the president no president have ever been backlash the way President Donald Trump have been. He have been abused, taken to court many times. Rather, no president have ever passed through that. He just think that it's too much for President Donald Trump. And you hear the Republican trying to support him. According to the women in the view, they believe that the immunity, if it's being passed out, for example, they will give the president the right that he can take the gun and shoot any other one, or the president can have the right that he could, if he wants all the Republican dead, he can have such a power like let all the Republican down. Is that what they want? And they say the Supreme Court is still resistance because the Supreme Court don't want a situation that like at the end of they talk about April, because if Donald Trump becomes the president of the United States, that will not go. But if they put it in such a way and he will be able to free from if he has to go to jail, he cannot go to jail. Obviously, he is the president. He will be the president president. So they want such a way that the Supreme Court can pass the judgment before next year, come to an before the election. So, but rather the Supreme Court is trying somehow delaying, because even if he passed that, is even after President Donald Trump have gone, like the president, they don't want to give any president too much power. They could give the president power to just free from crime. You can do whatever you want. You can be angry with anyone and you just give a command that just burn them, just fire them down. He could just come, I don't like all these Republicans, just put everyone down, and it has the right. So on the other hand, according to Sony, they don't want to still give the power to a president like that. On the other hand, they don't want to still pass the judgment for President Donald Trump. If they pass the judgment, he might go to jail, which they don't really want to pass that. So it's still a mixed feeling. You could see that the women in the views talk about that. That is injustice. So actually, what do you really think? Do you think that passing the judgment before the election would be a good one for President Donald Trump and all the Republicans? Or do you think that the passing the judgment should come after the election? Because in such a scenario, even if he is found guilty, he will not be able to go to jail. Actually, what do you really think? Because they talk about the case in Fountain County, which with DA Fannie Willis, that we saw last 2 weeks. She was being accused with a boyfriend, which is Nathan. All those that they talk about, that is about the January 6th. So they are ready to pass that out, to give out their judgment, but there's still a lot of stuff they want to take out from Fannie Willis. So basically, they are ready also to pass their own judgment. So basically, what do you think? Do you support that they should wait after the election, or they can give it before the election? Or do you support that a lot of power to be given to the president also? Because Donald Trump have been 4 years after, if he wins, after that somebody else is going to take over, and that same law is going to pass on to that person. Let me see your opinion in the comment section. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and help share the video. Thank you for watching. This is coming to the end of February. Today is February ending. This is February, the ending of February, and this African History Month just ended today. This is why you see me just in my beautiful attire. Thank you very much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please help subscribe and help share the video. God bless you.